Hi everyone, and welcome back to another Workshop Wednesday. I am excited to have you here for our December monthly wellness challenge. Our licensed mental health counselor, Jen Evans, kicked off this month announcing our theme, which is grace. And as a little side note, we are doing a special on Instagram, 25 Days of Grace, through European Christmas markets. So take a look here and follow us, join on the adventure. So we're really looking at grace as this moment of psychological flexibility, and that's specifically our theme for this week. So allowing ourselves to live in more than one truth. Sometimes our mind likes to grasp onto a black and white perspective, or I always do this, I never do this, and kind of erases that gray area that lives in between. And what we can do is become aware of these all or nothing statements. So that's what we'll do in today's workshop, and let's get started. Today you don't need paper unless you want to have something to scribble down on. Most of this will be just mental, but it might be helpful to have a sheet of paper handy. So we can just take a moment to either close our eyes or be wandering the eyes around the room in thought. What we're thinking about is our all or nothing statements. So we'll start off by keeping in mind I always, and come up with a list of things in your head that come when you think of I always. We're staying vulnerable this month. We're giving ourselves grace for those negative narratives that we have, because they are inevitable, but giving them the space to just run through our mind and process and accept. So just taking a moment, either keeping the eyes open or closing the eyes, thinking of those I always statements, letting yourself be vulnerable. This could be something that you always tell yourself in your head when something goes wrong. This can be something that feels like it always happens when you're in an argument, or always happens when you're feeling down. Allowing yourself the space to bring these thoughts up. And this can be an overwhelming task, so at any time if you need to pause the video and just take a moment for yourself, this is the space for it. Now we're going to start thinking of the I never statements. Just taking a moment to think. This could be something that you want to do, that you never do, a habit that you're trying to build. Maybe it's a boundary you've been trying to set. And also allowing now the space for the positive thoughts, if they come up, to let them arise with your always or never statements. And they might not, and that's okay. Noticing how these thoughts feel in the body, noticing the way or if the mind starts racing, and trying to bring in that awareness of becoming an observer of the thoughts, which is much easier said than done. But now picturing them either as clouds or as bubbles, something that is fleeting, floating. Now bringing that awareness, if there's one that is really sticking with you. Letting this one sit, observing it at all angles, from the top, from behind. looking up at it, looking down, staying curious about it. You can even have your internal dialogue say, I've never noticed you from this perspective. I see you as you are. Holding space for it in your mind. And now bringing in that idea of shades of gray. So noticing that this is an I always or I never statement. And kind of allowing it to disintegrate into a different spectrum of color. This could be just letting it fall into gray. Maybe another color comes up with it. Allowing it to be whatever it is, but noticing that it is more than just one color. Now bringing in mind our mantra for this week. I am allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress. Repeating this either out loud or silently to yourself. I am allowed to be both a masterpiece and a work in progress. Taking a big deep breath through the nose, letting this be a hug, a calm moment, a gift from you to yourself. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. If you need any extra time in this meditation or in this space, take it for yourself, or you can slowly open the eyes back up. Thank you so much for joining me in this meditation on our Workshop Wednesday. I appreciate you coming, showing up for yourself, and staying vulnerable. These are the key steps to building a happier and healthier foundation, life, and giving yourself grace. So thank you for kicking off this week with me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next week's Workshop Wednesday.